Hi there, welcome to the Solidworks Basics tutorial from MA77 Design. I hope you're doing okay today. Basically what I will be doing today is just going over the core elements of Solidworks. We use 2010, but the core basics and for the majority of features will be same on many of the versions, probably going back to 2008 and obviously then going forward to the latest release of 2012. For people who don't know or are new to SolidWorks, SolidWorks is a 3D mechanical CAD program. It runs on only Windows at the moment. You will have to install Windows on the Mac OS if you are a Mac user. It's being developed by Dassault Systems, which is a subsidiary of Dassault Systems from France. It's being used by a large number of people. Well over 1 million people use it, and well over 100,000 companies worldwide. And basically, the essence of SolidWorks is that you will create a varying number of sketches, and then you will perform a feature on the sketch, and you will actually end up with an end result after a couple of features and a couple of sketches. It's very easy to use when you know the basics. There will be many different ways that you will get to the end result. So if you're making, say, a dice, for example, you may create 1 or 2 sketches, or you may do a couple of extrusions. All of these we will cover later, don't worry. But the thing is, you will find your own way to get to the end result, but there are many different ways of doing it. There isn't a specific right way, or there isn't a specific wrong way. So anyway, as you can see, we have the SolidWorks program open. You're greeted by the big blue screen. Now if you just move over to the top of the screen, you can see that we have some drop down menus. We have some files, views, tools, a couple of plugins if you have 3D Via Composer, and we have the help section here as well. A really good place to start if you want to do some self-paced tutorials is in the SolidWorks tutorials here. There's a couple of them that don't really change from year to year, but if you're very new to the program, it's a brilliant way to start. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to dive straight in, and we are going to open a new part. So if you go to File and New, or the shortcut is Control New, you will be greeted by this window here. Now, you may see this window here. It is basically exactly the same. However, you can create some templates and some customized settings and documents for when you open a new part or drawing. We will use this, as this is probably what you will see, and you have 3 aspects here already. You have a part, you have an assembly, and you have a drawing. Now a part is what it says. It's a 3D representation of a single design component, and an assembly, which is the second one down, it's an arrangement of parts and or other assemblies. So say for example you have a wheel from a car. You may have 3 or 4 parts. You would have the alloy, the actual rubber tyre, the dust cap, and you might have 1 or 2 other things as well, lock and nuts, etc. From them parts that I've just mentioned, you would then bring them into an assembly, and that is when you start to arrange them within the assembly, and you'll start to build them, and it's kind of a bit like Lego. You're bringing all the different components in and you get your finished product. And then we obviously have drawing, which will be a engineering drawing, so manufacturers would then be able to manufacture your parts and your assemblies that you've came up with. Anyway, we will go back to the part and we will click OK, or you can start the new part just by double clicking it. It's a little bit slow to get going, but here we go. Okay, so this is the main window that you will then see when you've selected a new part. Very daunting. There's a lot of things on there. However, you are limited to what you can do, as you will need to put some data in. First of all, I will familiarise yourself with the interface. On the left hand side here we have the feature manager tree. Everything that you do will be documented within this tree, and it's a hierarchy. So if you do a sketch on the top plane first, and then 3 or 4 ways down later. If you need to edit something, you've got to go all the way back to your first sketch. You can rearrange these, but it can cause some complications, but we will go over that in the parent and child tutorial. So, as most of you will know if you've used SolidWorks before, but if you don't, you have 3 planes. You have a front plane, you have a top plane, and you have a right plane. Now, up here you have the command manager. Now this will have all of the commands that SolidWorks has to offer. You will be able to select a feature, sketch, surfaces, sheet metal, weldments, mold tools, and a lot more. Now you may only have features and sketch, some of these may not be there. You just right click on the actual tab and you can select differing tabs, or dependent on what you need really. So as you can see, a lot of these are greyed out. We can't actually use them because there's nothing there. We need to start creating some sketches first of all, and that is the basis of SolidWorks. So what you've got now is you've got your feature manager tree, which everything that happens will appear here, and to make that stuff happen you use the command manager here. Now there is a little bit of customization. You can obviously move these, you can hide this so you can't see it, so you get a bit bigger screen. You can drag this out and you can snap it to the right, and you get a nice little list there. It's actually quite nice to have it on the left hand side possibly. So it's quite reminiscent of AutoCAD then, when you have all of your features on there, and then your feature manager tree can pop up there. We will keep it at the moment to the top. So we have a very brief overview of what we've got, and the only other thing is you'll obviously want to customize the user interface. We can look at options just by clicking on the options logo there, and you have 2 tabs. You have system options and document properties. Systems options will change it throughout the whole system, so it doesn't matter that you've got this part open or an assembly. Whatever you do here will change it throughout the whole system. However, if you click on document properties, if you change something here, i.e. we'll change the drawing standard from ISO to BSI, it will only affect this file. If you want to make sure it affects all of the files, you have to go into system options, and then you have to go to the feature or the thing that you want to change. Okay, so that is a very basic overview of SolidWorks 2010. Anything that you do need, obviously jot it down in the comments and we will get back to you as soon as you can. And the next tutorial will be creating a very simple part. Thanks. Hi, welcome to the official MA77 Design YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking your time out to come and visit us here. We hope that there'll be some things that are interesting to you. We'll be showing some how-to guides and tutorial guides on some of the software that we use here day to day. We'll be using primarily SolidWorks and AutoCAD, but we'll also be using some Adobe Creative Suite programs such as Illustrator, InDesign and Photoshop. Thank you very much again for checking in on us, and we hope that there's a video here that will help you out on your day-to-day designs. Thanks.